lion's share of this episode is going to be totally dedicated to tourism, to this very vital sector, to the sector which really had the lion's share in boosting our economy, in addition to some other sectors which we are working on the very same time to boost and to encourage and to continue in the right path to New Egypt, to the New Republic, Egypt 2030. Well, recently, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli had an expanded inspection tour in the Ritz Resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, in the city of Sharm el-Sheikh, particularly ahead or exactly less than 2 months ahead of COP27. This climate change conference, which is going to be hosted by the Ritz Resort, and it's going to attract world leaders and specialists from all over the world. Prime Minister Dr. Madbouli was accompanied in his inspection tour by a number of top officials and top executives. On top of the list was Khalid Fouda, the governor of South Sinai. They discussed together and they witnessed together on the ground the pace of work in several projects, as Sharm el-Sheikh is going to be a smart, green and sustainable city. Well, let's watch this detailed comprehensive report about the Prime Minister's tour in Sharm el-Sheikh, and then we are going to be back with more.
إن مصر لديها القدرات هائلة في هذا القطاع، والدولة بتعمل كل اللي تقدر عليه من بنية أساسية، من إجراءات تيسيرية، من حوافز، من كل الخطوات اللي من شأنها إن احنا نشجع هذا القطاع على التضاعف. لأن إذا كنا النهاردة بنتكلم إن الحمد لله عندنا صحيح بالرغم من كل الأزمات بقى عندنا 11 مليون سايح، وده تقريبا بقت الأرقام قبل أزمة كورونا، ولكن احنا طموحنا مضاعفة هذا العدد وفي خلال فترة زمنية بسيطة.
Concerted efforts of all state agencies to prepare the city of Sharm el-Sheikh to host the 27th session of the COP27 Climate Change Conference next November. The hotels, in turn, are preparing for this big event with special equipment and preparations and the provision of various logistical and technical means, such as high-speed internet service, which will be provided to the guests of Egypt during the conference, and the provision of power plants.
فإذا كان النهارده كانت إيراداتنا بتيجي من السياحة في حدود ال 11-12 مليار دولار سنويا، أنا بتكلم مع السياح النهارده مع القطاع النهارده الخاص والمطورين عن إن احنا نحقق مستهدف 30 مليار دولار في خلال السنوات القليلة القادمة.
In order to achieve double tourism revenues amounting to $30 billion, the Prime Minister confirmed that the projects being implemented during the current period in Sharm el-Sheikh as part of the preparations for the Climate Summit are a real opportunity to increase the number of tourists coming to the city during the next stage. During his meeting with a group of tourist investors, Madbouli stressed that the COP27 conference is a real opportunity to raise the levels of services provided in the city, stressing that the tourist facilities are a wealth that must be exploited and operated. In turn, the investors welcome the holding of such meetings in which the state's vision is clarified at every stage of work to advance the tourism sector as the fastest way to bring about economic recovery and raise growth rates. In light of the efforts to increase tourism revenues to $30 billion over the next 3 years, with the country's tourism potentials to increase the sector's revenues, which is one of the main sources of hard currency, the state has begun to take many active measures. Dr. Fakhri al-Fiqi, head of planning and budget in the House of Representatives, said that the central bank is starting to make the arrangements in order to link the Russian Mir ruble payment system to the Misa network in Egypt, pointing out that arrangements are underway to complete the settlement process easily. And press reports quoted investors in the tourism sector in the Red Sea as saying that the banks had informed them that there had been remarkable progress in activating the Russia payment system in Egyptian resorts and that it would enter into force during the next few days in order to exploit this in the current tourist season in order to overcome on the negative repercussions of the Russian war in Ukraine. On the other hand, to achieve an increase in tourism revenues, Ahmed Isa, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, and engineer Naguib Sawiris, Managing Director and CEO of the investment holding company, in the presence of Sameh Shukri and a group of senior statesmen, witnessed the start of the trial operation of the gates of the Visitor Center on Fayoum Road and the Khofou restaurant in the international complex of restaurants and internal tours of the region for groups and individuals. The attendees also witnessed the start of the operation of the electric bus system and 7 main visitor stations equipped with integrated services for visitors and a parking lot for cars and buses for the visitor center station within the Giza Pyramids area. Data issued by the Central Bank of Egypt indicate that the arms sector is gradually starting to recover as the revenues of the tourism sector, which is one of the main sources of hard currency in Egypt, amounted to about $8.9 billion in 2021. This level is more than double the revenue recorded in 2020 when the corona pandemic reduced tourism revenues by about 70%, but it is still less than the record level of $13 billion in 2019.
كلمة حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين حلوة يا بلدي كلمة حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين حلوة يا بلدي.
Welcome back. As we promised, the lion's share of this episode is going to be totally dedicated to tourism and to this vital sector and to our homework, to the efforts exerted on the ground to boost this sector and to make it play even more positive role in boosting our economy. Well, to shed more light on this and to speak in detail about all the efforts exerted on the ground, we are very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio Dr. Heba Zahran, our tourism and traveling expert. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Heba.
Thank you very much.
Let's start after this detailed comprehensive report as we were watching this let me say extended tour which was held by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, accompanied by Governor of South Sinai Khalid Fouda and a number of other top executives to witness on the ground the pace of work in many projects. And let me quote this once again because this is very important: turn Sharm el-Sheikh into a green, smart
city
and sustainable city. Let me know, how do you see this vision?
Well, Sharm el-Sheikh generally, the project of taking Sharm el-Sheikh to the green and sustainable city, actually this project have been started already long years ago. But now we give more focused and more support to the projects over there. A lot of projects still under pipeline, so these projects are going to be a green hotels. That means that the electricity will move to the green energy. So a lot of projects still under pipeline and needs support from the money support. They need money support to get the projects ready. They need the government support. They're looking to change the whole limousine cars over there to electric cars,
Yeah.
which is a huge project. And it's on.
It's a process going on
It's
already.
the process
as we
is
speak,
on, yes. So a lot of new visions are there. actually, the main projects we need to focus on before the exhibition and the conference of the COP
27.
27 is to finish or finalize the infrastructures are there. A lot of the ring road is under process now in Sharm el-Sheikh, and this will take overall Sharm el-Sheikh around the ring
Around
road.
Sharm. And
So-
the taxi, also the taxi application. I mean, there are many things which are going to take place on the ground, and
Exactly.
Prime Minister Dr. Madbouli said that all these projects are going to be finalized within a month.
Yes.
Meaning a month before
Before November,
the COP
yes.
27, meaning in October, everything is going to be settled, and we are going to be ready to host our dignitaries and our world leaders, all those who are going to come to participate in the very important gathering.
True, yes, this is true.
Are we racing against time?
Well, no, we are not that racing because a lot of projects are there, and it's only the finishing or finalizing the final steps and final stages
Yeah.
to get the projects ready.
Yeah.
So Sharm el-Sheikh is very close to be ready for
And
the...
to be a role model.
Yes, and
But
a role
before
model.
going into more details regarding the attraction of tourists, I also want to speak about domestic tourism and to what extent Sharm el-Sheikh, with all this beauty, it's not going to be only for foreigners. It's going to be also for us. And this is a big part of the story, true?
True. Yeah, this is true. But we need to separate the international tourists and the domestic tourists in terms of cultures. And in terms of the high season and low season for the national people. Our high seasons in whole Egypt, based
Winter?
on the, no, actually we based usually on the vacations and holidays and public holidays vacations. So during the year,
You mean for Egyptians?
for Egyptians,
Yeah, okay,
for the,
sure.
the domestic
Yeah.
tourists, we are having the summer vacation. We're having Eid vacation. We are having
Mid-year.
mid-year vacation. So our vacations are based on
Peak,
calendar,
the peak, yeah.
are peak and calendared.
Yes.
You know, so this is not enough to run the whole hotels with full occupancy during the whole year. So that's why the international, we need to be more focused, to get ready, to increase the number of tourists internationally. So to reach the number we are aiming to be ready to welcoming them in Sharm el-Sheikh and the other
resorts and other
resorts and
cities, yeah.
destinations, we need to focus more on having more capacity in terms of rooms, because we still now within whole Egypt we are having around 870 hotels in whole Egypt, and this including the new Alamein hotel, the huge one, the latest one, which is 800 rooms have been added to our capacity. But still we need more and more. We are not this is from a couple of years ago. We're still looking to increase our number of rooms. The accommodation is very important.
Sure.
If we are aiming to increase our visitors to Egypt, we need to get ready. And the first thing we need to get ready with is the accommodation. The second, which is, I can say we have to get ready with 5 elements to get ready and to compete within the travel and tourism industry worldwide or internationally. Accommodation, number 1.
Number 1.
Transportation, number 2. The attractions, which is, we're having 2 kind of attractions. The
Only 2? I
Only
think more
2.
than that.
No, only 2, and we can, inside the main 2 elements,
Main
we will
and
find a lot of
sub-attractions.
sub-attractions.
Okay.
But the main 2 is the natural attraction, and the second one is the built attraction. when we say natural attractions, we have a huge of, we can say, the
We're going to
seas,
turn back to this, but accommodation,
Transport-
attractions, transportation.
transportation.
Number 4.
Number 4 is giving more a focus on the MICE. MICE means that we need to get ready with more conferences and meetings and events, ballrooms and places we can يعني
You mean convention? Yeah, you mean
convention,
conventions, or you mean
conferences.
conference tourism, conferences tourism, or
Yeah, we call it
businessman
MICE.
tourism?
We call it
Okay.
MICE.
Number 5.
The MICE means meetings, conferences, exhibitions, and recognitions.
Okay.
Okay.
Number
So
5.
number 5 is the service.
Okay.
The whole kind of product services. So these 5 elements are the main. So accommodation, we still need to look more into detailed to have more different categories, especially the medium sizes and the small sizes of the hotels. Worldwide, the tourist, 70 or 75% of them are always looking for the quality of service, the quality of the cleanliness, the quality of the security in the place he's looking to stay in. So the medium hotels and small
motels
hotels,
too. I mean, there should be
Small
this
hotels,
culture. I mean, having 5 stars hotel is okay, but 4, 3, and motels, things
Exactly.
for the youth, others for other age categories. I mean, this diversity, I think it's a must.
it's a must.
Yeah.
And we don't have that much of these categories. So that's why I'm saying we need to focus more on the medium size of hotels. We can take the category of 3 stars and 4 stars hotels under the medium size hotels. The small hotels, we put the motels under it. We put camps, we put lodging, we put hotel apartment service, we put even the hostels. So all this kind of accommodation we miss. So we need to get much more focus on this categories for the accommodation in order to get ready to receive or to aim our number of
This
visitors.
is opening new horizons or new markets for us.
Exactly.
But I mean, with all my respect to the 5 pillars, because you mentioned very important points, but I don't know why you have not mentioned propaganda or awareness or marketing. Don't we need more regarding this? Or Egypt is Egypt, and
Yes.
you would find people all around the world are that much eager to come for so many reasons, even some of them know better than we know about our history or about our
Exactly.
civilization.
Yes.
Do you agree with me on that, or still marketing is
Well,
very important, or the
Still,
new
marketing
new
is very,
methods,
yes.
new methods also?
We maintain the market. We maintain our marketing strategy. But the marketing is there, and Egypt is Egypt, especially now. Within the whole situations around us worldwide, within the changes of the environment, the changes of the climates, Egypt is the place for the people to travel to during
Blessed
the
by
coming.
God.
Yes.
Yes.
So media and marketing and even
Why, ma'am, I'm
event
asking this
calendars.
question?
Yes, please.
Because we all witnessed what happened after the
crisis of-
the Mommy's Parade.
Yeah.
And when this event was aired on tens or maybe hundreds of channels worldwide, we found on the spot the reactions, on the spot the fruitful results.
Yes.
How do you see such events, and how do you see such ways of opening the new? For example, what are your dreams regarding the inauguration of the gym of the Grand Egyptian Museum?
Wow. This, no one can tell you how much we are, imagination is going maybe up to sky. Because
This is what I wanted to hear.
Yes, exactly. Because
Yeah.
the last event we already we were up to sky. And everybody were talking about Egypt and what's going on. So that's why I'm telling you, marketing-wise, we need to maintain our marketing strategy. Maybe we maintain our image, our brand name, but Egypt is Egypt. The coming very soon future is for us. What happening around Europe, what happening around the war between Russia and Ukraine,
And even the floods, the
and the floods and
typhoons,
whatever,
drought,
name
I
it.
mean,
Yes,
you
name it.
Yes.
Whatever happening around worldwide now, taking everybody to find the safest place to go. So it's Egypt. So during, especially, we are now very soon, very close to the winter and the high season.
The high season.
So everybody's traveling now, and everybody's planning their vacations. And finally, today in the morning, the UK announced that they will start as of 30th of October, around 65 flights weekly to Egypt. To especially Red Sea and South Sinai destinations, Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, Marsa Alam. So this is England. Russian, from the other side, they announced that they will start a daily flights to Egypt, to Sharm el-Sheikh especially,
So did the
specific
Czech
to Sharm el-Sheikh.
Republic
Yes.
last week.
And the Czech Republic
Yes.
last week. So everybody's is now looking and focusing to Egypt. So we are already there. Our marketing
Okay.
is fine. So what we need to do is to get ready. All these people are looking forward to come to Egypt. So we have to get ready. To be ready, we need to focus on these 5 bills or elements. So accommodation is number 1.
Amen.
And plus accommodation,
Yeah.
we need to focus on the quality of accommodation, the service of accommodation, the pricing. In the room rate is very important now. This is the right time and the proper time for us to implement the minimum and how can I say?
Average?
The not average even. The minimum should be
Charge?
the minimum
everyone?
The minimum for the rates,
For
the
the
room
rate,
rates
yes.
should be not less than what we agreed on.
Yes.
So this is number 1, because we are looking to increase number of visitors for financial results. So if we didn't maintain our room rates, we will never reach the 30 million we are aiming to get to reach for. So accommodation, number 1. Transportation, we have 2 segments in transportation: the private sector transportations and the public one. The public one, part of the infrastructure development, which is we are there. We can say that we are there by 60% of. Once the monorail and the train, the electric train,
And the third line of the
and
metro.
the third line of metro, all this will
Also
put
all the
us
ring
on
roads and access bridges all over the country.
the whole ring roads and even the international roads between the destinations and cities.
Free highways.
So
now it's free highways.
it's a free
Yes.
highway. So we are there by 60%. By maximum 2 years, we will be there 100%.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So transportation is a very part of reaching the
And it's
number
very
we're aiming
promising,
for.
a lot of potentials, and many things
course.
were already executed on the ground. And as you've kindly mentioned, but I think even less than 2 years, inshallah, we are going to be there.
We're hoping, yes,
Yeah.
inshallah. So the third one is the attraction. So attraction, everybody's working on the natural attraction, what God give us, and they built attraction. Natural attraction, Egypt are having, our God thanks, يعني,
Blessed us with
bless
beaches,
us with
with
beaches,
the weather, with the sun,
Red
with the
Sea,
nature,
Mediterranean Sea, sea river, mountains, deserts, name
safari,
it.
you name it.
Name
Imagine
it.
that.
So we already have the most attractions. Everybody's dreaming to have half of it even. Built attraction, we have the historical places, we have the whole cities full of attractions in terms of shopping areas, shopping malls, museums, everything. So this is the built attraction. A lot of countries are building attraction because they don't have the natural attractions. So we need to retune our plans in terms of using the best of these attractions. How? The museum have got a lot of development, and this was part of
renovation
renovations and everything.
Yeah.
Natural attractions, we need to make the facilities to use this natural attraction. So we need to build more marines. We need to having a real safari organizations so they can control the safaris, because you know, now it's running by small companies, private companies under the private sector, and this is not the aim for Egypt actually. So we need to have
more
a real,
startups and entrepreneurs in this field.
a real organizations running
Yeah.
this part.
To add to what you're saying, Dr. Hiba, regarding Siwa, for example, regarding some places which are really more than marvelous, and unfortunately even us Egyptians do not know that much about it,
Yes.
do not know that much about Chali, do not know that much about the artifacts, the handmade garments or even cloth, whatever. How do you see such places to be added in the right position on our tourism map? Because this is an issue. And on the other hand, religious tourism, for example, with the flight of or the journey of the Holy Family, Virgin Mary and Jesus the Child, this is also another issue. How to make all, and in addition, of course, to the discoveries. I mean, my dream is not only to speak about, with all my respect and love and admiration to Luxor and Aswan, but I want the tourists to come and to say, I wanna go to Tun Al Jabal, I wanna go to Tell Al Amarna, I wanna go to Sand Al Hagar, I wanna go to Al Matariya for Virgin Mary's tree, which was inaugurated only a few hours even ago. How to reach this?
Well, simply to reach this, we need to build new destinations in these areas. I mean by destination, tourism destination, and international tourism destination. Building any destination, you need some basics in the place. Number one is international airports. International airports, it's very important to build a new destination. So Siwa till now, we don't have
An airport there.
So this is very important to let people say that we would like to go to.
It's easier to go there.
Easier to go because it's more than 800 kilometers
From Cairo,
away from
yes.
Cairo. So building destinations, international airports, service places, hospital, some basics we need to build it there.
Yeah.
And on that time, we can say that we are having Siwa as a tourism destination or as a tourist destination.
In
And
addition to
wherever,
the other,
in addition to the other destinations.
Yeah. You mentioned a very important segment regarding the conferences, the gathering, the convention, and if you permit me, I want to add to this the sports tourism, because it was very nice, and I was really astonished with the reactions of people who attended one of our squash championships, which was held in El Fustat, or in the Museum of Civilizations, and it was magnificent.
Yes.
Whether regarding the image, whether regarding the scene there, and of course, in addition to our standard in squash, Egypt is always on top, whether in men or women's rankings, we are always on top. So it was from all directions a win-win situation, or a story of success. How do you see sports tourism?
Well, actually, we are perfect in building the place for any kind of sports. Yeah, squash is very easy because
Glass court.
It's a glass court. So if you remember, we have before the squash tournament in front of the pyramids. So it's easy to build the court, and easy to put the area.
It's going to
and
start
get ready.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
This year's edition is going to start tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are perfect on that. We have great people with a great creativity. They can do whatever. But we still again need to re-maintain our strategy in terms of sales, not marketing. You know, there is a big difference between marketing and sales.
And yes, of course.
Okay, so marketing is doing the big propaganda and working in different kind of segments to get people knowing about Egypt. But sales is running everywhere to sell our
How
product.
to sell it? Yeah.
So we still need to know how to sell ourselves, how to sell our products. So this is a very important point we need to focus on during the coming period, actually. So and this will take us to the fourth element,
Yeah.
by the way, which is the service. Service is a lot of we have a lot of segments in terms of service. Hotels are providing service. Transportations are providing service. Service within the airport. Service within the public
Tour guides, agencies,
transportations.
everything.
Yeah, the tour operators and travel agencies, this is the fifth element. So we need to upgrade our quality of service. This is number one. We need to look more into details in terms of standard. And when I'm saying standard, that means, or the word of standard means, this is the minimum of the quality we offer. Yani some people, when they hear standard, they say, oh wow, standard, that means
Standard
that
mean high standard.
No.
But it's not about high standard. It's about standard
It's
without the word high.
standard without high.
Yeah.
So the standard means that the minimum quality of service we can offer. This is the standard. So we are always running and aiming to reach the high quality of standard. So this will never be there without people.
Sure.
So we need to empower our
The
people.
human cadres, the youth.
The human,
Yeah.
or
Particularly, yes.
the human capital within our industry, you know. This is very important.
And also
part.
thinking out of the box. I mean, to be that all the time creative, doing something new. I mean, having the guts to continue with new things, having not only dreams, having all our dreams process on the ground, to be eager enough to continue with our dreams, even if it is brand new ones.
Yes,
This
true.
is it.
Yes, yes,
And
true.
this is
How we
this
reach
is very
this?
important.
How we will reach this? By upgrading the level of education for the people who are, or the worker is working within the industry, upgrading the level of performance, the level of upgrading the level of communication and leadership and management skills. All this together makes the very high standard of quality in terms of management or in terms of managing our products.
You know, Dr. Hiba, as you speak, I was thinking between me and myself regarding our culture as Egyptians, and speaking about those who are introducing the service, and to think about me as a mother before being anything else, and to think if my son came to me and said that he found himself as F&B manager, as a waiter, starting as a waiter, and he is going to continue in the right track to reach this, and maybe to have his own motel even by the end of the day. This is going to be a story of success.
Yes.
Not to think about only being doctors or engineers or accountants, with all my respect to all this. But there are jobs which we do need more than anything else. I'm going to repeat it maybe for the 10th time. Agriculture.
True.
Those who are going to be graduated from Faculty of Agriculture are going to lead in the coming future, because when you do have what you eat, then you are safe.
Exactly.
And with those who are going to introduce the good service, they are going to attract more and more, then meaning foreign currency, meaning better life for all of us.
Exactly.
How do you see this?
Well, this it's all about the home culture, the home environment comes from the parents. Yani, when you talk with your son, you will tell him, or you will dream with him, baby, when you get growing up and you will start your work or your job as a waiter, you should have a small and short-term plan and long-term plan for your future. During the first 5 years, you will work as a waiter, then as a captain, then as a head waiter, then as a restaurant manager. This first 5 years, the short-term plan. After 10 years, you will find yourself director of food and beverage, or executive assistant hotel manager, or hotel manager, or general manager for the biggest hotel in Sharm el-Sheikh.
And
So
this is only an example.
this is only an example.
My final question, because we're running out of time, unfortunately, regarding this, because you were there for, I think, you have such a long experience, and for
40
many years,
actually,
you're diving into this daily. This culture, how do you see this culture moving forward? I mean, have we changed this culture? I mean, what I'm talking about is something fruitful on the ground, positive. Should I be optimistic about that?
Well, I can tell you not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry to say that, but we're still not yet well understanding this culture or the lifestyle. So again, we need to work from the new generation. We need to work with them very close. We need to dream with them about future. Egypt, #1 travel and tourism destination. That means that half of...
You said a phrase which I cannot find something better to end this episode with. We should dream with them.
Yes.
We should dream, and we can realize our dreams on the ground.
And we show them the experience we have, and we show them best practice and examples. So
and it's
they
not
can
that,
dream,
it's not
and
that
they
difficult,
can,
it's easy.
they can reach their dreams.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I enjoyed my time.
Thank you
And
very
it
much.
went that
Me too.
fast?
Yeah, very fast.
We are going to leave you with a promise to see you again in more episodes of our program.
Inshallah. Thank
We
you
were very
much.
much delighted to have with us Dr. Hiba Zahran, our tourism and traveling expert, and I enjoyed my time having this fruitful discussion with her. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you very
Hiba.
much.
And I'm going to leave you now with my dear colleague and friend Manel Ibiari as we are going to know much more about the most important economic events which took place in the past 7 days. Well, by this we come to the end of this episode. Till we meet again same time on Nile TV International. Many thanks for watching. This was Nurmina Abdurrahman.
The navigation movement in the Suez Canal witnessed yesterday, Thursday, the crossing of 83 ships from both directions with a total net tonnage of 4.7 million tons. From the north, 39 ships headed by the giant container ship Ever Genius crossed, and from the south, 44 ships headed by the giant container ship OOCL Germany. The team, Osama Rabia, also thanked the guides, praising their great role and efforts to improve the channel so that it remains the fastest and safest channel in the world. A report by Flourish Ventures says that small shop and koshk owners are running their businesses and making better than expected profits. The report stated that koshk are among the most important outlets in the Egyptian retail sector, as there are more than 400,000 koshk in Egypt operating within the giant retail market, which amounts to $55 billion. Koshk sales represent 90% of the total sales of the Egyptian grocery market, and 53% visit koshk and small stores on a daily basis. Dr. Ayman Hamza, spokesman for the Ministry of Electricity, confirmed that the new and renewable energy authority is currently constructing a 250 megawatt wind energy project in the Gulf of Suez complex on the Red Sea, with an investment cost of £4 billion. Hamza explained in his statements that the plant will start operating at the beginning of 2023, explaining that the Gulf of Suez wind energy complex is expected to include more than 3,000 megawatts through international and national private sector companies. Hossein Abu Saddam, the head of the General Peasants Syndicate, said that Egyptian cotton is on its way back to its throne as it was in the 80s, as the cultivated area increases every year, which increased this year by about 100,000 acres compared to last year, until it reached 370,000 acres of cotton in various governorates. He added that the cotton harvest season started in Bahari and Qibli, and the price of the kintar reached about £6,000, a significant increase over the year before, when its prices are witnessing a major boom after the state's interest in improving the quality of cotton and supporting and motivating farmers. Dr. Muhammad Maid said that the Ministry of Finance aims to localize the metal industries with the latest international expertise. Maid added that it was agreed to establish an Egyptian-British mint in the economic zone of the Suez Canal with investments of £2 billion and an annual production capacity of 500 million discs in accordance with international standards, with 50% of it destined for export. Engineer Tariq Al-Mulla, Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, affirmed that the increasing global demand for natural gas encouraged international companies to intensify research and exploration operations with the aim of increasing production and benefiting from the current levels of international prices. Al-Mulla also reviewed the production rates from the Rashid and Borealis concerts during the year, as gas production amounted to about 317 million cubic feet of gas per day at a rate of 158%, and condensate production amounted to 6,300 barrels per day at a rate of 129%. The value of Egyptian exports to various countries of the world increased during the first half of this year to record $27.4 billion compared to $20.1 billion during the same period in 2021, with an increase of $7.3 billion and an increase of 36%. According to a statement from the Statistics Authority, Turkey came at the top of the list of the top 10 importing countries from Egypt during the first half of this year, as the value of Egypt's exports to it amounted to $2.2 billion, followed by Italy with $1.9 billion, then Spain with $1.7 billion, then India by $1.4 billion. In fifth place came the United States of America with imports from Egypt worth $1.3 billion, then China with $1.3 billion, then Saudi Arabia with $1.2 billion, then France with $1.1 billion.